It is rising. Reminds me of those fireworks. Well, I mean, they were sold during the 4th of July, but they weren't quite fireworks. I think they were called snakes. Just like a little black dot, and you'd light it on fire, and it would just grow. They were so cool. I think they might have stopped making them, because I've not seen them since I was a boy. I am immediately enjoying this. It's been a while since I've had it. It's 8-state Burley, Cornell and Deal, and I'm not big on Burleys, but I've been experimenting with them more over the past 6 months or so. And this one, if I remember correctly, smells like chocolate covered raisins. Yeah, that's exactly what it smells like. Just delicious chocolate covered raisins. When you smell it out of the tin there. And I definitely do get some of those chocolate notes when I smoke it as well. Right now, though, it just simply tastes good. It's very comforting. And sitting down and relaxing on my porch, on my new porch, we moved. I think I might have mentioned in the last video that I was going to have to figure out if my neighbors would get upset with me or not if I partook. Living in a townhouse, you see. Maybe I can so people are close, but I figure I'm far enough away that I'm not gonna disturb anyone. And I'll make them some cookies soon. Let me make sure I didn't lose myself here. No, I'm not lost. But yeah, there's something, I mean, this one's chocolatey, but there's something just universally brown about Burleys for me. I don't know what that means, but that's how I feel. It's like a brown, round sort of taste. I think they go good with more inclement weather. It's not raining or anything, but it snowed this morning. Gorgeous, beautiful snowflakes just shooting past my window all last night and this morning. Most of the snow's melted by now, but it's somewhat chilly. It's like it's in the 40s, hence the get up. But it goes good with this. Can't quite lean back in this chair the way it's currently set up, but maybe it's best that I don't lean back. I might fall into the abyss. I don't know if there's actually more nicotine content or not, but Burleys do tend to put me on my ass. And I wonder if it's actually the content or if it's more a lack of familiarity. Because one of you guys was commenting saying that nightcap really gives you a punch in the face in regards to the nicotine content. But I smoke a nightcap all the time, and I honestly consider myself a lightweight because I'm not smoking more than twice a week. I have very little time, and when I do smoke, it's very enjoyable. So, yeah, I'm by no means a seasoned veteran of strong pipe tobaccos, but nightcap doesn't really affect me all that much. But the Burleys, I feel like they do. No one has yelled at me yet. Though I imagine if someone is not happy about this, in this day and age, they're probably more likely to just rat me out to the landlords without actually trying to communicate with me. That seems to be the way people are now. Shyer. Or maybe less assertive. it's not just people that are younger than me. Like for sure the younger people I feel like are really not about approaching people and being direct and putting things into their own hands. But even people my age, I feel like are not nearly as assertive as I remember adults being. I try to be. But if I'm being honest, I'm not even as assertive as I'd like. So I need to make cookies, meet everyone, and turn this little nook of the city into a neighborhood. It really is a cool place, though, because we're downtown, and I mean, I'm in Colorado Springs, so it's not like a city per se, but downtown is still downtown, but we're tucked into the street, and we've got just this little, almost a shire. But I can also walk to places. There's a chocolate shop down the street that I've been very curious about. I can also walk to the cigar lounge, which is great. And probably greatest of all, my wife can walk to work. It is definitely noisier sitting out here. But we'll see how it sounds. Hopefully it's not overwhelming or anything. Yeah, it's getting close to 6 o'clock, so this is a somewhat busy time, I think. But if it is too noisy, maybe I can just plan on sitting out here in the evenings or the early mornings. That way it's not as noisy. I think those are my favorite times to smoke anyway. Probably early morning is the best. As long as I don't have to work. getting too friendly with you. I find myself leaning over. That's better. You can join me over here if you want. Humanity. It was a bipedal mammal wearing a green top. I believe it was a woman. Excuse me. She walked through a white door into a yellow home. Kind of jealous. The building across the way there is yellow, and ours is brown. Cocoa pebbles. This is tasting like cocoa pebbles. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I'm not one to get notes from pipe tobacco all that much. Not unless I'm looking for them, but I'm not even looking. It just presented itself to me. And I like that. It's like, here you go. Have some cocoa pebbles. Thank you. I think I will. Man, I hope nobody minds the smoking, because I really like this. There's something romantic about smoking my pipe on a porch. It's like where my pipe was meant to be smoked, you know? It's where I imagine all those pipers of days past smoking in the South, or, you know, other parts of the country where it was more commonplace. Although, from what I understand, pipe smoking did have quite a heyday. People were doing it all over. There is that. One of the reasons I think nobody's going to care. There are grills, at least 2 grills, outside of units. People are cooking meat. And is that not similar to smoking pipe tobacco? Releasing a lovely fragrance into the air? I think it is. And speaking of smoke, my friend, my dear friend, is planning to give me his smoker. So that will also release a lovely scent into the air. And it's spring, it's April. And summer is coming. And oh man, am I looking forward to making some ribs. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be very good. my assumption is that if you're hanging out with me right now, which you are, that you are most likely also a pipe smoker. But I've had a couple of comments that lead me to believe some viewers do not smoke a pipe at all. And I'm wondering if that's true. So, are you a pipe smoker? And if not, thanks for hanging out with me. And also, I'm curious, what is the value that you're getting hanging out here with me? Today is my Friday. Technically, it's Thursday, but Friday is my day off. I have been working 6 days a week. In all honesty, I've been working 7 days a week, but working at my job, working at the job in which I'm paid by someone to do something for the company, you know. But I've been working on my own things as well. But even working 6 days a week, I feel quite happy lately. I've been really, really happy. And I remember there was a time that working 4 days a week felt like too much when I was working in the restaurant industry. It just goes to show how valuable it can be to do work that you actually enjoy. And I do enjoy my job, and I do enjoy the work that I choose to do outside of my job. That was one of my goals. Even when I was still a teenager, I had a lot of people tell me, do something that you enjoy rather than something that makes a lot of money. And while there are certainly times that I wish I had more money, and there have even been times when money's rough, it's a burden, I still think it's worth it as long as you can get to that point of security. And right now I'm at a point of relative security, and I really like what I do. So I feel really fortunate. And, fingers crossed, in theory, I can only make more money from here, so long as I don't make any crazy moves or, I don't know. I don't know. Nothing's guaranteed, but it feels pretty good. Even when I'm not working, I've been taking care of my daughter, who's now 6 months old. My wife calls me a work-from-home dad, because there's certain parts of my job that I can do during the day while I'm taking care of her, and then there are other parts of my job that I do in the evening that require me to be one-on-one with people and over the camera, Zoom. So I can't, but man, do I love hanging out with her. She is a riot. Today she was just hanging out in my lap and looking at me. She had her tongue hanging out of her mouth, and she was just making all these crazy noises. And I would mimic her, and I'd mimic her face and try to mimic her tongue and mimic her noise. Certain squeals I couldn't quite get, but she really seemed to get a kick out of that, and she kept making different noises and seeing if I could mimic those, and it was really fun. And then, she'll go and stick her hand in my mouth. My wife says she's trying to, figure out how I'm making the noises that I make by touching my lips. That seems like it's probably true. But babies are way cooler than I imagined they would be, or at least my baby is. I'm biased. But before she was born, I would always joke with my wife that I wanted to just fast forward until she was 4 years old so we could play, really, really play. But we play now. She's very playful. First 3 months, not really playful, or not really able to play with her per se. But at that time, she was just like a tiny little cuddle bunny, and that's also good. So, yeah. When I first saw her after she was born, I had to immediately take back my statement that I wanted to fast forward. I do not want to fast forward at all. I'd like to hit pause, honestly. Time is relative, and it moves faster than it used to. and everything they say about, they grow up so fast, it's true. But there are also moments where we're playing together, or cuddling, or I'm just even watching her sleep, and time actually slows down, and I feel like I'm with her, living her perspective, in which a day is like, 1/150th of her life, which is quite a lot when you think about your own situation. And every month, I mean, this last month was a sixth of her life. And when we're just doing one-on-one stuff, I feel like I'm there with her, and that's really cool. I had a lot of fun when I was younger, being a sporting man. I was quite wild. But I have to say, I very much prefer being a family man. I've got a tune in my head. I wrote the guitar part for a song yesterday, and I've been playing it today. Right now it's just acoustic guitar and a few pieces of melody, but no lyrics yet. I'm going to ask my bandmate to sing it because I can hear his voice when I play it. And I don't really care what it's about, because the feeling is there in the guitar. But I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does. He lives in Utah. And he is the drummer, but he also sings, and he can play bass, and he can play guitar. That's pretty cool. And then our other bandmate, who does mostly vocals, she's in Portland, and we just send each other tracks, and we slowly put songs together. And I wasn't writing any music for a while, but since moving here, we've only been here for less than 2 weeks, but I'm already starting to play music again and play new music and just diddle around and fiddle around and play with my guitar and my ukulele and even my melodica. I feel creativity coming back to me. This place has something to do with it, for sure. My daughter has a lot to do with it, I think. And I think my sobriety as well. I have not been intoxicated in a long time. Four months, maybe longer. I don't miss it. Not right now. I do love scotch. I really, really, really like scotch. And I'll have scotch again, but I don't know if I'll have scotch all year. And if I do, I don't know that I'll have more than an ounce. Just enough to taste it, because the taste for me is really what it's all about. Obviously, a head change is enjoyable, But I am experimenting with sobriety. And so far, I really like it. It's getting a little bit colder. I need to find my ashtray. It's still in a box somewhere. A lot of things are still in boxes. Some things just stay in boxes and they go into, the storage under the stairs, and there's memories there. There's value there. Like old photo albums and yearbooks and things like that. But I don't pull them out very often. I know there's digital solutions, but certain things I just don't want to let go of. I think that's my favorite thing about social media. Not really the social part, but the ability to store so many photos and videos that I can look back on without filling another box. But the social part, I don't know what happened to the social part. It's not really what it used to be. I used to go on Facebook and my friends would be there and I would interact with them and send messages and respond to their posts and kind of check in and see how they're doing. But at this point, people use it to complain and to argue and to share opinions and articles and videos of opinions and news, and it's more media than social. I don't care for it. And I post so infrequently that when I do post, nobody sees it because the algorithm doesn't show you what your friends are posting. They just show you things that they think you'll click on. And that's a shame. it is what it is. It's not like I have time and room to communicate with all the hundreds of people that I'm, friends with. We've gone on to live our own lives. And the people who I still keep in touch with, I'll call. We'll have conversations. I guess that's okay. One more relight, and then I'm gonna have to let this thing go because it's getting cold out here. It's getting down to it as well. I packed a nice full bowl. Nope, it's done. 'Tis the end. Thanks for hanging out with me.